Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This is your timeless reading, meaning whenever you find this reading, there may be a message in here for you. Be sure to look at the numerology of the reading, the date it was posted, timestamps that stick out to you, because all of those things may have some channeled guidance for you. So we are going to start with an oracle deck and clarify with tarot, and this reading is for where you are headed in this next chapter of your life. Okay, we have going forward in the reverse position. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have enlightenment. Okay, wow. So, so you are headed into a time period of emotional openness, because with going forward, look at it upright. I always have to look at it upright. This is like this green field and you're sort of walking into this sort of sunset, and we have enlightenment. And so with all of that green, that suggests that there is a huge heart chakra expansion that's taking place for you, but it's tied to emotional openness and the enlightenment about why that has value. Because there's this energy, like anytime we're coming into enlightenment, like yes, it's for the purpose of raising our consciousness and raising our vibration. But a lot of times we don't embrace topics, or we don't embrace new levels of consciousness because we don't yet see their value. And so this next chapter is teaching you about the value of emotional honesty. Not just openness, but honesty emotionally. Emotional honesty definitely feels like something that has been really uncomfortable for probably all of your life. Okay, we have the sun in the upright position. So this reading is for where you're headed. The sun is it's the happiest card in the deck. It's the brightest card. It's the vibrations are extremely high, and it's like I think you're going to be really surprised at your emotional honesty not backfiring. I don't know why I heard that, but like, I think that one of the reasons why you're not emotionally honest is because you think that it backfires. And it's like the universe is determined to prove to you that it can also bring in like tremendous blessings, people who want to help you, people who actually love you, people who actually see you in their future, people who appreciate your journey, with the sunflower energy. Okay, and Scorpio energy with the death in the reverse position, right? Because you have been going through Pluto, right? You have been going through transformation. You have been going through an internal deterioration of self. Because enlightenment, right, is an internal job. This is what that's about. It's not about your exterior. It's not about what's happening in your physical life. It's about what's happening. It's about the growth and the expansion that you came here to do as a soul. That's shadow work, right? Like sometimes we think shadow work is optional. Like, oh, people can choose to do shadow work. No, you do shadow work or you stay stuck at lower levels of consciousness. And if you stay stuck at lower levels of consciousness, then you stay trapped in the matrix, right? But I digress, and I will say less. I'm just saying, with this Scorpio energy, they've shined a huge light on your shadow areas, particularly with you being emotionally blocked and emotionally resistant to being more open. And this is what is transforming internally for you. Okay, we have the Fool. I don't know if the Fool is Gemini energy. I have to double check that. the Fool is all about new beginnings, right? So we're going from this internal transformation to actual new beginnings that we can see physically. And I think that's why I sort of went on a little mini rant about how this is internal and this is about internal and not your physical outward life, because they want you to understand that the external doesn't change if the internal doesn't change. Like, it has to start internally first in order for you to start actually seeing things move in your physical reality. And that's another reason why there's this energy where it's like where it's like you at times are emotionally resistant because you don't see progress fast enough, soon enough, so you think nothing's happening. Okay, with the Nine of Cups in the reverse position, right? You get very discouraged, very, downtrodden emotionally when you feel like you don't see enough progress. And there's also this energy of like, honestly, like, you're drained from the things that you've had to transmute spiritually. Like, there is a like emotional fatigue. So, like, let's say like you're in this period where you feel like you're ready to take steps forward, but you feel like you're being held back. You may be what you're perceiving as being held back is a spiritual hold. It's like Hanged Man in the reverse position, where it's spirit that is putting a temporary block on forward physical movement because they need for you to come into a deeper perspective about something. But it's also like deeply connected to like your perspective of deep emotional loss, or your perspective of a lack of physical change. Okay, and needing physical change, needing almost like needing emotional sensations to validate you. Like, they need you to not need that in the new beginning. Oh yes, we are going to further clarify this energy with the empathic deck, which I think is perfect to pair with the Sacred Destiny deck, because it's like where you're headed and then how you're feeling about where you're headed. Oh man, so we have crowd surfing in the upright position. You have got to let go of the opinions of other people. They have way too much power in your life, truly. Like, that's another reason excuse me, that's another one of the reasons why you tend to downplay even your smallest accomplishments, because maybe you have negative people around you who are bringing up that it could be better, or they're like checking in and asking for progress reports that you don't owe them because you don't owe nobody a progress report. Like, this is Earth School, but they not your principal. You don't owe them progress report about where things are. And it's also very important when you're going through this transformation to keep certain things between you and spirit, because when you share too much, you are intertwining that energy with those people and their limited expectations, and that completely lowers your vibe. So even if there are people who want to know more, or are probing you for information about your next step, they are not owed that information, and it is spiritually unwise. I feel like I have to say that very like sternly. It is spiritually unwise for you to share that with those people. These could be karmic people who are looking for reasons to hold you back. So, oversharing can be a form of self-sabotage. So I would just look out for that. Wow. Oh my God. Okay, so to clarify the sun, we have the sun. Like, this next chapter, you are going to be so ridiculously stupid happy. Like, you're going to be so happy, you're going to annoy yourself. Like, you may even aggravate people around you. And that's one of the reasons why I think you keep coming back to what people think, because I think that attention feels uncomfortable, or like the anticipation of that attention feels uncomfortable. The anticipation of like jealousy, and how you're like people's energy may change toward you because they see you getting something that they're not getting. I see that affecting you, and please, Like this is I can't stress enough how much this is not about other people and what they have or don't have. That is their work to do. What you are doing internally for yourself and what that will yield, that they can't determine whether or not you deserve that. Like that's insane. So don't, don't include that in your journey. Okay, so to clarify this transformation energy in reverse, this internal transformation, yeah, like you are going through the phases of internal transformation. The whole purpose here, right, is that spiritual development, but it's also like we're addressing some of the ways where you've been in a lack of harmony with yourself. And so in order to like restore harmony, we can't skip the steps. Like you may be seeing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's about not skipping the steps. You can't skip the pain. You can't skip the shadow work. You can't skip, you know, emotional physical therapy, if that makes sense. Like where you're rebooting your emotional receptors. You can't skip the rest days or you're going to injure yourself again, if that makes sense. I don't know why I'm using that metaphor, but like, you're going to have to flow through the phases of this internal transformation. But honestly, like I'm not getting like new moon energy here. I do feel like there's a lot of work that has been done. I feel like you're somewhere in the middle, or you're rounding a corner here. And I think that that's why there's a lot of pressure that you feel, because you are making, you know, full moon progress, if that makes sense, where you're almost ready to release this new self. Okay, we have 9, so an energy of release with air energy and the number 9 with new beginnings, right? We're almost ready to release our new self. With the air energy suggests that we just need a layer of wisdom. There's just a layer of wisdom that is inherent, that is coming with this, that they just need for you to have. Okay? 9 may be significant. You may be seeing 9. We have 9 here, 9 of cups in reverse. You may be seeing 9s. It may be a significant number in your life. You may have a September birthday. You may be a life path 9. There's just like a new beginning for this, releasing something for a new beginning here. Okay, and 2 and 7, which is a 9, period. You may be seeing 999. When she knows, she knows. Okay, because the holiday is kind of like the Hermit card. I said September birthday, Virgo. You may have a prominent Virgo placing in your big 3 because you just want to pop out and design that with your best friend. You don't you don't want to talk no more about it in the past tense. Like you're just ready to like move out of the hermit mode, the isolation, the dark, the shadow. You crave the sun. But there's something about you needing to become more emotionally open and honest in order to usher in the sun. That's what it's about. Okay, with the 9 of cups in reverse, there's something about what you deeply want. 9 of cups is wish fulfillment. There's something about what you deeply want that you got to be emotionally honest about, and you're not doing it because you're worried about what other people think, and they need for you to become enlightened about why worrying about what other people think is consciously beneath where you're headed. 9 and 3, you may be saying 9 and 3 or 3 and 9, validation, okay, which is a 6. You need to learn how to self-validate. Okay, oh my gosh. And we have the King of Pentacles in the upright position. Okay, Capricorn energy. King of Pentacles, I think, is also Virgo too, but it's more so Capricorn. So you may have prominent Virgo placements, Capricorn placements, Scorpio, Leo. Okay, air. So Aquarius, Gemini. Libra. I was like, what's the other air, right? But like you need to learn how to self-validate. That's the issue. You've received too much validation externally. That's what created the inability to be emotionally honest. Because why would you be emotionally honest if you're worried about whether or not it's good enough for somebody else? That means that your emotional compass is ran by other people and not yourself. And they need for you to reconnect to your own emotional compass. Okay, 1515. As I finish up this reading, that's 2 6s. Okay, you may be seeing 369. I hope this reading has helped. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can find out how to do so in the description box below. Consider subscribing if this resonated with you, and I will see you in the next video.